Let's shift focus to Yemen, where more than 100 people have been killed or injured due to an airstrike on a prison. In the latest, the Saudi-led coalition has denied targeting the prison located in Saada province. The coalition has said that the facility was not restricted from strikes. Saudi press agency has quoted Saudi-led coalition spokesperson Turki al-Malki, who said that the reports are baseless and unfounded. The Houthi rebels have released some graphic video footage of corpses being pulled out of the rubble. 8 aid agencies operating in Yemen say that those who have been killed include migrants, women and children. The prison is located in Saada. It was used as a holding center for migrants. Aid workers in Saada say hospitals are overwhelmed after the attack. According to Doctors Without Borders, many bodies are still under the rubble. Many people are missing. Global Internet Watchdog has reported that there is a collapse of internet connectivity. Yemen's Houthi health minister has pinned responsibility on the Saudi-led coalition and called it a war crime.
نحن أمام فاجعة كبيرة خلال الساعات الماضية من قبل الفجر، ودول التحالف تستهدف المدنيين. استهدفت السجن الاحتياطي بمحافظة صعدة الذي فيه مدنيين محتجزين يعرفهم الصليب الأحمر وزارهم الصليب الأحمر ويعرف أنهم مدنيين. استهدفتهم طائرات التحالف بشكل مباشر. طبعا لا تزال الضحايا إلى حد هذه اللحظة، وطواقم الإنقاذ لا تزال إلى هذه اللحظة.
The United Nations Secretary General has condemned the airstrikes. They have also reminded all concerned parties that attacks directed against civilians and civilian infrastructure are prohibited by international humanitarian law. The Secretary General has also called for prompt, effective and transparent investigations into these incidents to ensure accountability. US has called for calm on both sides. US has urged all parties to de-escalate and abide by the international humanitarian law.
I just have 2 items for all of you at the top. In terms of this specific strike and a reaction, obviously anytime there's a loss of life, of innocent lives, that is a tragedy, and we are mindful of that and focused on that. Obviously, you know our focus and the President's focus, which is from the very beginning, he established new interim guidance concerning the United States' use of military force and related to national security operations. That's how we operate here as the United States, which I think is reflective of his view. But certainly the loss of life is always a tragedy.
Meanwhile, thousands of people in Yemen rallied on Friday to protest against the airstrikes. The strikes mark a major escalation in the brutal civil war unfolding in Yemen. The civil war began in 2014. This was when the Houthis descended from their base in Saada to overrun the capital Sana'a. This prompted Saudi-led forces to intervene. Tensions escalated after the UAE-backed Giants Brigade drove the rebels out of Shabwa province. On January 3rd, the Houthis hijacked a UAE-flagged ship in the Red Sea. The latest attack comes in the aftermath of a drone and missile attack in Abu Dhabi, led by Houthi rebels on Monday. 3 people, including 2 Indians and 1 Pakistani, were killed in the attack. Yemen's civil war has been a catastrophe for millions of people. They had to flee their homes. Many are at risk of famine. The UN describes this as the world's worst humanitarian crisis. WION correspondent Susan Teherani has sent us this report from New York.
When members of the Security Council met behind closed doors here at the United Nations in New York on Friday, they condemned this week's deadly strike on Abu Dhabi by Yemen's armed Houthi rebels. They called the attack, quote, a heinous terrorist attack and called for the perpetrators to be brought to justice. They released a statement, and part of that statement read, the members of the Security Council underlined the need to hold perpetrators, organizers, financiers and sponsors of these reprehensible acts of terrorism accountable and bring them to justice. However, it's not yet clear what actions the United Nations Security Council plans on taking and how it plans on moving forward, despite the fact that the UAE representative did say that more international action was needed to hold the Houthis accountable. And the UN ambassador for Norway, which holds the rotating presidency for the month of January of the Security Council, said that she was, quote unquote, very much concerned by events that recently happened and called for de-escalation. Now, this meeting also comes at a time when on January 3rd, the Houthis hijacked a United Arab Emirates flagged ship in the Red Sea, and the ship's 11-member international crew is still being held captive by Houthi rebels. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.